Hello everyone and welcome to IP Study lecture video. Today I am going to take chapter number 6 of grade 7 and the name of the chapter is Algebraic Expressions. So let's quickly see what are the topics that we are going to cover in this lecture. First of all, we will discuss about what are algebraic expression. Next, we will discuss about the different terms which are related to algebraic expression like coefficient, factors, constants, variable. Then we will see how to form an algebraic expression. Thereafter, we will see how we can classify algebraic expression depending upon the terms an algebraic expression have. Towards the end of the chapter, we will discuss about how to evaluate an algebraic expression by substituting the value of a variable. So without wasting our time, let's start the lecture. So student, this chapter is quite familiar to us, right? Because we have already discussed this chapter in the previous grade. So what is an algebraic expression? Algebraic expression is a combination of variables as well as numbers which are connected by mathematical operators, addition, subtraction, multiplication or division. So in order to understand this concept, let me take an example for you. So we have 4x plus 3y plus 8. So as we have discussed over here, it is a combination of numbers as well as variables which are separated by a mathematical operator, right? So you can see over here, I have written this expression. Here we have variables like x and y and we have numbers as well, 4, 3 and 8. So let me tell you one thing, since we don't have any variable with this number we call it as a constant, right? And if any number is there with which we are writing a variable, we call it coefficient of this variable, which we are going to learn later on this chapter. So this is an example of an algebraic expression, right? Clear to you? Now let's move to the next topic. The next topic is how to form an algebraic expression. For that, we will take an example. Suppose we are performing an activity in the classroom, okay? And I ask you to make squares using matchsticks, okay? So you start making squares. So first of all, you used 4 matchsticks to make a square. Then I asked you to make 2 squares which are connected from a common side. So again, you use matchsticks and you make these squares. Then in the same way, I asked you to make 3 squares, then 4 squares like this. So you make it, okay? Thereafter, I asked you, do you find any connection between these squares? Then what you do? You will make a table. You will write when you were making a square, you use 4 matchsticks. When I asked you to make 2 squares, how many matchsticks you used? You used 7 matchsticks, right? When you were making 3 squares, for that you used 10 matchsticks, and for 4 squares you used 13 matchsticks. So what is the relation between these, these numbers while making squares in a consecutive way, like 1, 2, 3, 4. For that you are using matchsticks 1, 4, 7, 10 and 13. So what is the relation between these numbers? Let's find out. So here for 1 square, how many matchsticks we have used? We have used 4 matchsticks. For making 2 squares, we used 7 matchsticks. For 3 squares, we use 10 matchsticks, and for 4 squares, we use 13 matchsticks. Let's find out the difference between these numbers. If you find out the difference, you will find out the difference is 3. Here also, the difference is 3. Here also, the difference is 3. So it means 3 is common, right? So if I write 3 and use m to represent number of squares I am making over here and add 1. So do you think this expression is correct for this pattern that we are making with the matchsticks? Let's quickly check. Suppose, let's start from the first one only. Put the value of 1. Put the value of m as 1, right? So if I put m is equals to 1, because I am making 1 square. So how many matchsticks I am using over here? 4, right? Let's put the value of m equals to 2. So 3 into 2 plus 1, that is 6 plus 1, 7, right? If I put the value m is equals to 3, So 3 into 3 plus 1, that is 10. It means this expression is justifying my pattern, the pattern I was making with square using matchsticks, right? So this expression is called an algebraic expression. So this is how we can make an algebraic expression, right? Now let's move on to the next topic. What is my next topic? The next topic is terms of an algebraic expression. So dear students, we have discussed what are algebraic expression, right? Now let me take an example again. Let me write 3x plus 8y plus 10, right? So in an algebraic expression, we have different parts. Like here, we have one part. This is the second part and this one is the third part. So in an algebraic expression, different parts are separated by an plus. Here in this example, we have the first part 3x, the second part 8y and the third part 10, which are separated by plus sign. So since we have three parts over here, these parts are called terms. These are called terms. So if I ask you 2x plus y, how many parts we have here? We have two parts. One is 2x, one is y. So it means that how many terms we have in this expression? We have two terms because we have two parts over here. Suppose if I write 3x plus 5y minus 9z plus 8. So how many parts we have here? We have four parts, right? 1, 2, 3 and 4. Since we have four parts over here, we will call these are terms. We have four terms in this algebraic expression. So this is all about terms. Let me remind you one thing. These terms can be negative or positive depending upon the sign a term has, right? So over here, since in front of 3x I have a plus sign, so this is positive term. This is also positive term. This one is also positive term and this one is also positive term. Suppose if I write 4x minus 3y, right? So how many terms we have? Again, we have two terms, 4x and 3y. Which one is positive and which one is negative? 4x, this term is positive and minus 3y, this term is negative, right? So I hope this is very clear to you. What is an algebraic expression and what are the terms in an algebraic expression, right? Now, let's move on to the next topic, that is factors and coefficient. So first of all, we will take factors. So dear students, in an algebraic expression, we have two types of factor. One is constant factor and the other one is literal factor. So let's quickly see by taking an example. So as you can see in the first example, can you see 2zy square? So here 2 is a factor, right? So we will call this 2 as numerical factor or constant factor. Numerical factor or constant factor. And we have z and y squares, right? These are variable. These variables are called literals. So we will call them literal factors. So z and y squares are literal factors. So we have two types of factors. One is numerical or constant factor and the other one is literal factor. Am I clear to you? Now, let's see what are coefficients. So what are coefficients? In a product of numbers and variables, any of the factor is called the coefficient of the product of other factors. What does it mean? Let's take an example over here. We have 5x square, y square and z. So the coefficient of x square, if I ask you what is the coefficient of x square over here, let me write it over here. 5x square, y square and z. And I ask you what is the coefficient of x square. So what will be your answer? Your answer will be 5y square z, right? If I ask you what is the coefficient of y square, what is the coefficient of y square? So what you will write? Y square. So coefficient of y square will be 5x square z, right? In the same way, if I ask you what is the coefficient of z, So what will be the coefficient of z? Coefficient of z will be 5x square y square. Understood? So these are the coefficients. Now let's move on to the next topic and find out what are like terms and unlike terms in an algebraic expression. So here the terms having the same literal factors are called like terms, and the terms not having same literal factors are called unlike terms. Now what does it mean? Let's understand this by taking an example. So look here on the screen. 7x square 3y minus 6x square 5yz, right? So in this expression, let me highlight 7x square and minus 6x square. Can you see this? In these two terms, we have same literals. What is that? X square and x square, right? Since we have same literals in these two terms are called like terms. So 7x square and minus 6x square are called like terms. But if you see this one, 3y and minus 5yz, we don't have a common literal over here. We have 5yz and we have 3y. So in case of 3y, in this term, z is lacking, right? If I write z over here, then I can say these two terms are also like terms. But since I do not have that, so these two are unlike terms. Right? So students, I hope you have understood the meaning of like and unlike terms. Now let's move on to the next topic and see how an algebraic expression classify on the basis of number of terms it has, right? Now, the first one is monomial. Now, what is a monomial? Any algebraic expression having only one term, like 3x or 4y or 7z and so on, right? So, any algebraic expression having only one term, we call it a monomial, right? Now, let's take another one, that is binomial. Any algebraic expression having two terms, let's say 3x plus 1 or 4y plus 6 or 7z plus 8 is called a binomial, because in this algebraic expression we have two terms. One is 3x plus 1, one is 3x, another one is 1. Here also we have two terms, one is 4y and another one is 6. Here also we have two terms, 7x and this one. So I hope you have understood the meaning of monomial and binomial. Let's see what are trinomial. As the name is indicating, any algebraic expression having three terms. So let's take an example. Suppose we have 3x plus 4y plus 7z. Okay. So here how many terms we have? We have three terms. One is 3x, another one is 4y and another one is 7z. As we have three terms over here, in this algebraic expression, we call it trinomial. Okay. Then any algebraic expression in which we have more terms, more than three terms, or simply we can say, let's take an example of quadrinomial. Here in this case, we will have four terms. Okay. So can you see this example on the screen? A4, 2A3, 2A. Can you see an example over here? So here we have A4, 2a cube, 2a square plus 3abc. So how many terms we have? We have four terms. 1, 2, 3, 4. So any algebraic expression where we have four terms, we call it a quadrinomial. So I hope you have understood the classification of any algebraic expression depending upon the number of terms it has. Okay. So now let's move on to the next topic. What is the next topic? The next topic is finding the value of an algebraic expression by substituting the value of a variable. So to understand that, let's quickly take an example. So we have example number 9. Here we have expression a plus 9, right? So I have to find out the value of a plus 9, and the value of the variable a is given over here, that is 5. So what I will do, I will put the value of a in this expression, which is 5. So in place of a, I will write 5 and add 9 So what will be my result? My result will be 14. This is how you are going to solve these algebraic expression. Now let's take another example. Let's take the second one, that is 84 minus 3a square, right? So let's solve it together. So just write 84 minus 3. Since this is a square, so what I will do? I will write 5. Then I will solve it. So what I will get? When I solve it, I will get 9 as my result. So student, this is how you are going to find out the value of an algebraic expression by putting the value of a variable, right? So that's all for this lecture, students. I hope the topics that we have covered in this lecture are very much clear to you. So we will meet you in the next session. Till then, take good care of yourself, keep learning, keep practicing. Thank you.